Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gashi's Kaman TV, the twice man in Black Africa. The government-to-government fuel scandal has surfaced. It has failed to work. None other than the Treasury has alluded to this and has confirmed that it is not working. And it looks like it is a scam. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, then definitely it is a duck. Ukitazama vizuri sana, from the beginning, people referred to G2G fuel deal as gangster to gangster escador oil deal. And this is shocking in my view. When we had this news, it was heartbreaking. I remember very well when William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua signed this deal. Many people asked many questions. When they signed this deal, they did not involve Kenyans. They just involved themselves, wakaenda pale, and I remember even our neighbors were left complaining. That is Uganda. Because it turned out that Kenyans were buying fuel that was infiltrated. Fuel whose price was actually increased by 17 shilling. 17 shilling added in some people's pockets. For every liter of petrol, 17 shilling was going to some guys. So now that they are done with the deals, now that they have pocketed everything that they wanted to pocket, now they are free now. They feel that they can tell Kenyans that it is not working. I think William Samoei Ruto need to resign, if you ask me. I think this government needs to call it a day. I think this government need to say that wameshindwa. If it were developed countries, I think William Samoei Ruto would have been impeached in the morning. How do you engage the government with deals that don't work? How do you sign deals that plunge the country into huge losses? When they were signing the deals, ladies and gentlemen, I remember the shilling was exchanging at 146. But now, today, the shilling is exchanging at, with the dollar, it is 161. So the country has lost a lot of money. It has lost a lot of money because of inefficiency of the government. Ukitazama, ukisikiliza, ukichunguza, utagundua jambo moja. That William Samoei Ruto did not get enough of the best advice. Or no due diligence was carried out because the economy has always been doing badly, and that is why the shilling has always depreciating. The economy has not been improving. Tumekuwa tukilia kila uchao, tumekuwa tukilamika kila uchao, and I know that if the court had passed the judgment and said that this thing was not good, I think they could have blamed Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. I remember very well. And here, I want to thank Raila Amolo Odinga because when this deal was signed, he came out strongly and told Kenyans that this was a scam. Raila Amolo Odinga came out and told Kenyans that this one was actually a deal between guys who are involved amongst themselves, the businessmen in Kenya Kwanza, the dealers in Kenya Kwanza, because this is a government of deals. Hawa watu kila wakati ni kuangalia mahali ambapo wanaweza kuvuna pesa, mahali ambapo wanaweza kuibia mwananchi wa kawaida. Raila told us, and if you look at Raila Amolo Odinga is a very well informed person, very informed leader. Raila Amolo Odinga really get it wrong. When you hear Raila Amolo Odinga telling you that this is going to happen, I tell you, it is going to happen. And I think Kenyans need to commend Raila Amolo Odinga for keeping the government on its toes, for telling us that this was a scam, and it has turned out to be one of the biggest scam. It is actually very embarrassing. So, if the court had passed this against the government, I think they could be saying that Raila and Uhuru had sponsored this, and they could be blaming the judiciary, where the judiciary could have done the right thing. And the other scandal that I've always told Kenyans that is going to hit this nation, and I want you to wait for this. Raila has also said about it, the housing scandal. This candle is going to eat Kenya Kwanza. This candle is riddled with mystery. This housing business, this housing issues. How do you, for instance, mtu anakukata pesa kwa payslip and he deducts money from your payslip, then he forces you to buy the house. Ulipe, yani wewe utoe pesa, ujengewe nyumba, alafu uziwe nyumba. And where does this money go, ladies and gentlemen? Hizi pesa ambazo wafanyikazi wa umma na wa kibinafsi, where is the money going? How much has been collected? These are the questions that have never been answered. And even these constructions, people are asking hard questions. Who is supplying cement? Who is supplying steel? Who is actually benefiting when the land is bought? You see, these lands do not be given just like that. Who are these investors who are building these houses? And there are some questions, there are some gray areas that need a lot of clarification. Again, when you look at it, the government is like want to involve itself in many scandals. And when you look at some of the scandals that we are fighting this government, it is coming out very clearly that from the beginning, the government of William Samoei Ruto was not prepared to rule this country. The part of the coalition that was prepared and had a plan for this nation, it is the Azimio side. But when you look at Kenya Kwanza, a very clueless regime, when you look at Kenya Kwanza, they are getting it wrong every day. When you look at the advisors, Akina David D, they leave a lot to be desired. When you look at these people, they are very arrogant. They can tell anybody anything. They can say anything. They have no respect for the voters. When you look at these guys, you are left with many questions. When you look at these people, the best they can do is to buy counter suits. The best they can do is to buy clothes. When I look at it, it looks very petty. It looks very petty, in fact, if you ask me. Because I have told you again and again that Mwai Kibaki, by William Samoei Ruto, always want to say that he's mentor. Mwai Kibaki would find him in office. Mwai Kibaki will find him working. But when you look at William Samoei Ruto, most of the time, he's not working. He is moving from one country to the other, like a nomad. No, nomads are people who move from one place to the other, looking for green pastures for their animals. But when you look at William Samoei Ruto, he has been moving from one country to the other without much to show Kenyans. Again, you know, when he took over the leadership of this country, he told Kenyans that he was not going to borrow any money. Today, I think IMF gave him 150 billion. I think the other day he was given something like 80 billion. Is it 80? Something like that. 80 billion. So, within less than 2 weeks, the government has borrowed a lot of money. A lot of money. And when you look at where the money is going, nobody can clearly explain where is the money going. When you look at the taxes that our Kenyans are paying, nobody can explain where the money is going. The IMF and the World Bank, as we talk, as I go on air, is telling William Samoei Ruto that he's going to add more taxes to Kenyans, that he's going to introduce more taxes to Kenyans, that he must collect an extra 807 billion to fill the gap, the budget hole that is there, the deficit. And when you look at William Samoei Ruto, you ask yourself many questions. Were we voting for IMF and World Bank, or were we voting for African readers, Kenyan readers? Because we have surrendered our independence. We have surrendered our country. We have lost our country. I don't know what you are thinking when you're watching this video. Because when I'm talking, it pains me a lot. When I'm uploading this video, I can tell you that we are gonna get more scandals as time goes by. I don't know what you think, but I ask you just one thing. What do you think about this G2G? Was it a scam? Because it has turned out to be a scam. Wasn't Raila right? What do you think about Raila Amolo Odinga? Hongera Raila Amolo Odinga for your thoughts and actually enlighten Kenyans on what the government. Bye-bye.